If you saw my last video, this is literally like 10 minutes later. The Brilliant Event Part 2 of the New Marauders has begun. I'm Professorvoqas, and this is Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
I just saw a Foundable of Sirius in his dog Animagus form. I take it that you decided not to give into the Unforgivable's demands. I'm sorry, Hermione, but I couldn't, in good conscience, let the Unforgivable get their way. Adversaries have proven how dangerous the calamity is in their hands. We can't risk them unleashing any more darkness upon the world. Don't apologize. You were in a difficult position and did what you thought was best. In any case, what's done is done. Better we brace ourselves for what might be coming than fret about the past. I know you're worried, but rest assured, I don't intend to tempt the Unforgivable. Aurors are personally guarding each of our children, and Hogwarts has been put on high alert. If they try anything, the kids will be safe. I hope you're right, Harry. All right, adversary event. I literally just finished it a second ago and decided to go ahead and kick in with the start of this event. So let's go over to daily assignments. I'm not going to collect that yet because I haven't used my trace charm. Oh, okay, so short aside, I actually upgraded my Hogwarts family so that those treasure trunks can get me spell books, and I just did that, I don't know, maybe a week ago, and I haven't gotten a spell book from any Hogwarts trunks yet. Well, this morning, I returned a couple of Hogwarts Foundables and just got enough to rank up in Hogwarts, and I actually got a trunk that actually had a spell book and a trace charm in it, so it was a very productive trunk. Anyway, back to the actual event itself. We are on the first set of tasks. Collect 3 ingredients, or Portman 2. That's going to take 2 seconds. Brew tonic for trace detection 2 times. I'll come back to that in a second. And then to recover the Padfoots, we couldn't do that till the event started anyway. We're not really going to go too far today with it, but I did want to get things started today, and then tomorrow is going to be the bulk of where we really kick into it. But let's head over to Cauldrons, and you can see my potion situation. If you look for tonic for trace detection, I actually don't even have the ingredients. So I wanted the brew, and I even looked for some ingredients, but I just couldn't find any. I couldn't find the ones I needed, and I couldn't bring myself to spend the money. So, as a reminder, right now, I'm going to go to Diagon Alley, and I'm going to claim my complimentary gift because it has the ingredients for tonic for trace detection, so I can start one of them and then hope I get some Baneberry and Angel's Trumpet to be able to brew the other one. Again, I'm in no rush to finish this first set of tasks because I don't have a lot of time to play today, at least not in a long session. It'll definitely be just little bits throughout the day, which really means I just want these tonics done by tomorrow. But let's go back to Cauldrons, up to brew. Let's go ahead and brew that tonic for trace detection. Let's put the master notes in. See, it's going to take me like 2.5 hours anyway. So while those 2.5 hours are happening, I can actually be looking for Baneberry and whatnot. There we go. Yep, 2 hours and 40 minutes is what it's going to take. If you notice, I just picked up some energy off the ground there, and I did get credit for getting to collect 1 out of 3 ingredients. Now, the plan was just to kick off the event right here, get that story text in, but next time you see me, it'll actually be tomorrow. I will have those tonics almost assuredly done. I'll certainly have picked up 3 ingredients, and there's a good chance I'll get 12 brilliant Padfoots, and I just need to keep reminding myself not to go to the registry because we need those rune stones when we get to the next step. We are once again in the final hour of a brilliant event, and I'm just trying to finish up. So since that intro, I did play, but I had to put that guide out, so I just didn't video any of the rest of it. But we are on the bonus events. But the first thing I'm going to do is actually adjust the lighting on my camera. It got really dark under here. But I do want to sit down and let's place all the images because I do have all those ready to place, and then we'll talk about what I need for the bonus task. For those of you that haven't been able to do this event, the mysterious note pieces in task 4, I did complete all those and there was some story text there. Essentially, they put the note together and they kind of said, hey, the Unforgivable said, hey, you messed with us again, and we had to do a thing or whatever. So they went and checked at Hogwarts, and McGonagall's like, everything's fine. But then it turns out their targets were actually Ron and Ginny, apparently, at the Ministry of Magic. So anyway, that's where we are now. We're about to place these images. I'm not sure if these are going to tie in, but I feel like once we get done and back out, we'll kind of see where that goes. I believe Ron gets kidnapped, and we have to get him in the first part of the next brilliant event. Anyway, let's start out with Padfoot, because I got him first. Sirius Black came from a long line of pure-blood supremacists. He knew he'd be discovered if he spoke out against his family's ideals, but he did it anyway because he knew it was the right thing to do. But that was Sirius, brave almost to a fault, not to mention incredibly loyal. Out of all the animagi I've known, his form, a black dog, was perhaps the most fitting. He wasn't in my life long, but I couldn't have asked for a better godfather. Moving on, let's go ahead and do young Lupine. He took me, before we even get to this, he took me forever. I saw more young James Potters and Scabbers than I saw of him. This whole event, I still haven't seen a lot of him. I got enough to do it, but I saw a lot more of the Part 1 Brilliant Foundables than I did of him, so it took me forever. Remus Lupin told me he was bitten by Fenrir Greyback when he was only 4 years old. He spent his whole life facing discrimination for being a werewolf. Unfortunately, werewolves still face a lot of stigma, but thanks to the ministry's outreach, the wizarding community is becoming more understanding and accepting. We may not be able to change everyone's minds, but if we can save one person from going through what Lupin did, it's worth it. And moving on to Prongs. Now, I got these fragments actually from the Task for Rewards gave you all 5 fragments. Harry told me his dad and his dad's friends became animagi when they were still at Hogwarts. I can't imagine doing such difficult magic so young. I was set on becoming an animagus too once. I'd kept the mandrake leaf in my mouth for a month, brewed the potion, and was just waiting for a lightning storm when Sloane Travers told me about a friend of a friend who botched the spell and became half-wizard, half-naked mole rat. Unsure if my silver teaspoon of dew had not seen sunlight or been touched by human feet for 7 or 6 days, and terrified of becoming a half-human, half-animal abomination, I never drank the potion. Well, it was probably for the best. Knowing my luck, I probably would have saddled with something unremarkable and disappointing, like a squirrel. That'd be fun. Let's go ahead and place the invisibility cloak. When I was running fortresses to do some of the formidable foes, I actually ran with this runestone just to get these 3 fragments, which I got pretty quickly. The cloak of invisibility has been passed down in my family for generations. My granddad passed it on to my dad to me, and soon I'll pass it on to James. I'd originally intended to wait until James left Hogwarts to give it to him, fearing he'd use it for mischief, like Harry did. But after reflecting on how my dad and I used the cloak, well, I realized using it to make trouble at Hogwarts is also sort of a family tradition. Nice. And then the last thing is the Marauders Map. I've got a bad feeling, Harry. You're positive Hogwarts has been quiet. Neither my Aurors nor McGonagall have reported anywhere near anything suspicious. I've also been monitoring the Marauders Map constantly, and no one unaccounted has turned up. Even so, I can't shake this premonition that something awful is about to happen. Normally, I hate being wrong, but this time I sincerely hope I am. Got to rank up too. What am I, rank 40? And this event's about to end, so I definitely am not going to max rank it. These shorter, brilliant events are definitely going to make it harder to max it out, because I tend to do a lot of my ranking of it after the event tasks are done. Then I'm just grinding out foundables and getting a bunch of it. So let's go ahead and back out. I'm sure there's some final text now that we've placed all the images. Here you go. I heard Ginny was attacked. Is she all right? What happened? Exhausted and banged up, but the healers say she'll be fine. Her attacker used Polyjuice Potion to disguise themselves as her editor-in-chief. Thankfully, she noticed his behavior was off. The imposter got away, but if Jenny hadn't become suspicious, the outcome could have been much worse. What about Ron? Is he all right? Can I talk to him? Harry, Ron's missing, Harry. I've searched everywhere. The Unforgivable's taken him. So there you go. I do know, the Brilliant event, and I'll have a guide coming out for that maybe tomorrow. The Brilliant event is about them trying to get Ron back, so I'm not sure what kind of surge that'll be, but I know that's where the storyline goes. This is the first time, either ever or in a while, that one Brilliant event has had something happen that kind of like cliffhanger and hung over to the next event. Anyway, it's 1:32. I have 28 minutes left, and you can see I still need 2 more werewolves. I've done everything else because I can do the other stuff from home. It's easier to run fortresses, get wizarding experience. 40 Brilliant Foundables, I still need 27, and I still need 3 werewolves. So I've actually come up to a park, it's called Ritter Park. I've been here maybe once or twice, but it's been a hot minute since I've been here in a video. Anyway, let's go ahead and walk around, try to get the rest of these, and finish up this event in the next 27 minutes.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And towards the sun rays, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
That actually went very quickly, surprisingly. You saw some of the highlights there. Look around me, though. I mean, I just cleared this area out like 10 minutes ago, and it's already respawned. I feel like at the end of the events, they really chuck stuff down there. Anyway, let's head over to special assignments, and let's collect everything. Here in the final rewards, 5 defense against dark arts books, and 5 more fragments of prongs, actually, which is interesting again. So yeah, you can see here, I mean, I still have like 3 werewolves out there and a whole bunch of brilliant foundables. Even on that lap around, I showed you the 2 young Lupines I got, but I saw more young James Potters than I saw that, and James Potter was from part 1 of the brilliant event. I'm not sure, for me at least, it almost seems like the 2 foundables I saw the most were Sirius, which I saw a ton of him. He was always the most. And then young James. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought those were the 2 foundables for part 2, and then the other 2 were for part 1, because I didn't see a lot of Lupin. Man, I do see that emergency foundable over there, though. So, overall, as I try to get him, I'm not doing an extimulo. I'm just going to see if I can get him straight up. Overall, I definitely felt more rushed for this event, and I'm somebody, obviously, that goes out and plays more because I make videos and stuff. So, for a more casual player, I can see it being a lot more difficult to get through this. Hey, I got him. In addition, I was actually really hoping to stop on the... There's another one, I think. I don't know what it is. I was really hoping... Oh, look at that. Tom Riddle. I was really hoping to stop on the cast the greats in a row. And honestly, I got to those series of tasks, and I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just playing, which maybe was easier because there was no pressure. I didn't know how many greats I had done at that point. And I was just going foundable after foundable, just popping through. And ended up, all of a sudden, it said, oh, you just did the greats in a row. And I was like, oh, I was a little more relaxed, probably. I usually do get greats, not on these casts. This is not one of my better ones. And then the Masterfuls, that wasn't bad at all. There were so many Bombardas, as you see. I'm on a Bombarda right now. And I tend to be able to at least get greats on these all the time, mainly because he always resists every time I do this. Even that one really wasn't spot on and ended up being masterful. So this is one of my better casts, and since Sirius was around all the time, I got all my masterfuls on him pretty much. See, even that, not a great cast, or not a masterful cast, but I got great on it. I think I got a lot of greats through that too, but my masterfuls definitely were on Sirius. See if I can get him with this masterful, even though I don't need him anymore. I'm just getting it. One last thing I noticed about this event, and maybe it's happened to other brilliant events. I mean, it has, but I just noticed it a lot more. And maybe because I was in a rush and I was wanting to return foundables quicker. But a lot of these were resisting my casts. I would do maybe, they weren't departing on me. I barely had any depart. So it's like their departure rate was very low, which is fine. But I was low on energy a lot, and that's another reason I probably noticed this, is something like Sirius, because I was decent at the cast, I might get 4 masterfuls in a row, and the 4th one he would finally, I would return it, but for the first 3 he would resist. Lupin definitely did that, which was even more frustrating because I wasn't seeing a lot of him, and every time I saw him I was worried he was going to depart. He didn't. But having to just cast over and over and doing good spell casts, and by good, I mean great or masterful, not actually good. I did what I would consider excellent spellcast, and it still wouldn't return it. It would just resist, and I would have to do it a couple more times. So it's just eating up my energy. Especially at home running tonics, I don't have any way to replenish energy, so I really want to use the least amount of spell energy to return foundables as possible. Anyway, just in the nick of time, we did finish this event. I don't know why I put myself through this. I always just wait until the last minute for whatever reason. I just have other things that maybe I'm doing, or just think things are going to take shorter than they are, and then they ended up taking a longer, and then here I am almost at 2 o'clock. And keep in mind, the adversary event starts in 1 minute from this time right now. So anyway, if you weren't able to finish the whole event, I hope you were able to get through the 4 tasks, and if not that, I hope you were able to get some of the rewards you wanted during this event. And I hope that this weekend you're able to fight some of those dragons. Oh, that was another thing. I actually saw 4 Peruvian, actually I saw 3 Peruvian Viper Tooths today. One of them I Trace Charm, so I actually saw 4 because I got a clone clone of it. So I ended up getting to place that image and build some fragments back up, which was kind of cool too. That was actually earlier before I even started the video. But anyway, adversary event should be, by the time you see this video, it's already begun. So hopefully this holiday weekend, you're able to have some time to go ahead and fight some adversaries. Don't forget the dragons. So definitely for me, take some more potions. Once I run out of potions, I really can't fight them anymore. So I'm not sure how far I'll get through it. I should be able to get through the tasks for sure, but I'm not sure how much about prestiging those pages because I'm not going to be able to fight 50 dragons or anything like that. I'm actually looking more forward to the port keys and walking those. As always, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Nox.